One, two, three. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to our movie club. Today we are continue to discuss the movie Gone with the Wind. Wind? Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, okay. I was practicing a lot. Okay, so what was the end of the first part? I forgot. Leila, do you remember?
If you ask me, the first part is
Where we stopped? So what happened before the intermission?
I think the guy came to see Scarlett to ask to pay tax for Tara. No?
I don't remember actually.
The radish scene.
Yeah, the famous radish scene.
With God as my witness. Ivan's favorite part.
Yeah.
The
I
most
will
famous.
steal. I will. What she will? Wish I will kill, but I never will starve again. Or something.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yep.
Okay,
She had walked outside in despair, hungry, starving. She saw a little thing growing in the ground. She picked it up and put it in her mouth with dirt and spit it out and said, "By God, I will never be hungry again."
Wow.
That was her character change. She had gone from simple, smiling, naive young girl to ruthless, cruel, manipulative, do whatever it takes woman.
Yeah.
There was a special term for this for scenarios. For scenarios, they say it's developing the character, right? Or arc of the something with arc. But I
The
forgot.
arc is the whole trajectory of her life change.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a turning point in the arc of her character.
Okay. Okay. So Sergey, did you watch the movie?
Yes, I watched it 2 weeks ago.
So, hope you not forget everything. You didn't forget everything. So let's start. What happened after this intermission? So what was the story?
Scarlett started to collect the yield of cotton with their servants, and suddenly they met soldier of Yankee, and the soldier of Yankee wanted to took something from this family, but Scarlett killed him. And
we know so much, modern wars, right? Like looting, right? It's all
yeah, killed him, and they looted him, and they found that some golden coins, and these golden coins helped Scarlett's family to live without problems some months, some days, I don't know. And in the end of the war between Yankee and Confederation, Ashley returned from captivity, and Scarlett wanted to kiss him, but he didn't want to eat, and they continued to live together with big family, with Melanie and Ashley and servants and Scarlett's sisters.
So what will be a good verb? So he refused her. Teacher, can we say so? He, like Ashley, refused her.
Oh, refused her advances.
Refused to advances. Okay. What happened to this? I always forget how to pronounce deserter. So it was a
desert.
deserter.
Desert.
Deserter.
It's sweets, right?
So there are so many desserts, right? Something that we eat, something,
yes.
something that fly away from the battlefield, and this sand place.
Yes.
Bosans, how to pronounce them? Do you know?
I only know the sweet
We have
sweet.
dessert,
yeah.
dessert, desert,
Charlie,
and
right.
dessert.
Looks the same.
I don't see the differently. Dessert, dessert, dessert.
Dessert
Okay.
eat and dessert run away, same sound.
Тяжелее.
But the
Why
thing
the-
is that, Ivan, there are two S's, right? So dessert,
Dessert has two S's for food.
Mhm.
right?
Dessert run away just has one S.
I
Тяжелее, why do-
love eating dessert.
Why do you think he was a deserter? Why he wasn't just what happened when soldiers went home after the war? How we call them? The
Veterans.
veterans. So
We
So
have
probably-
veterans and we have deserters.
Mhm.
A deserter, a veteran is a loyal guy. He fights, does his job, goes home. A deserter says, "What the hell am I doing? I could get killed. This is bullshit. I'm leaving." And he sneaks away to
Yeah.
protect himself. Or he may be a coward. He's either a coward or he's just greedy and selfish and he'd rather not fight and go make some profit by looting and killing and stealing. So this guy was a scoundrel, a scumbag, a deserter. He wanted to run away and by himself steal and kill and get money and become rich and not risk his life. So
Because-
he was a loser, in other words, a
Obviously,
typical looter in America.
It's because there are obviously no police, no order yet, so it's a good place for them. yeah,
Anarchy. Yeah.
Anarchy.
Yeah, usually I have a questions about sneaks. Is sneaks meant run away?
No, sneak means to move quietly and unobserved.
Sneakers, it means run very fast.
Yeah, different word. Sneakers are shoes, but to sneak
Yeah.
is to move silently and secretly. A
So my-
spy sneaks.
Yeah, let's make an example. So during the night, my little boy sneaked to the kitchen to get some cake. Sergey, please made your example. Please make your example with sneak.
I sneaks from my lecture.
No, you
have to
sneak
sneak too.
money from your wife's purse.
So you mean sneak like run away, right, from your lectures, but you have to run into the lecture. So you after the beginning of the lecture, I sneaked in, for example. Am I
Yeah.
right, teacher?
Yep, you can sneak in. You're late, so you sneak in so nobody notices you're late. Or you sneak out because it's boring and you don't want to stay there.
I see. Nice.
You sneak
Okay.
away from a party.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens with army after the war? It's dismounted or disbanded? How we call it?
No, the armies are permanent. I mean, they stay. Well, the Southern Army was disbanded,
Disbanded because they.
I guess,
no
because it was
use.
defeated. But the
Yeah.
Northern Army still the army.
So
Now-
men of South started to return to their houses, right?
Yeah, just went back to work.
Yeah.
Or to what was left. Starvation, houses were burned down, destroyed. A lot of them had to rebuild from scratch.
Yeah, and just after intermission, is it intermission? Just after intermission, we show we have seen a picture of burning yours everywhere, burning yours. It was Sherman, right? General Sherman.
Yep, General Sherman. General Sherman was an effective officer, but very cruel. He used what we call a scorched earth policy. And this we could use this today. This is a battle tactic. He knew that he would go into the South, fight a battle, and leave. So he could leave under two circumstances. He could leave and let the South just retake the land and go back to normal, or he could destroy everything that it was in his path. So when he left, the ground was gone. There was nothing for the South to go back to rebuild and continue fighting the war. So he burned everything like 40 miles wide he burned everything in his path, so there was no plants, no vegetation, no food, no nothing. So the ground was ruined. So the South couldn't come back when he left and start growing food again because the ground, everything was gone. So very cruel tactic to utterly destroy the enemy's ability to recover.
Yeah, I see. Very cruel, right? But happens
It
all the
worked
time.
for him.
It works. Now, something I want to mention here, that this scene with the deserter,
Mhm.
when Scarlett killed this guy and Melanie ran down the steps, Melanie was holding what in her hand?
Something metal, I don't know.
A
Knife?
sword.
Sword. Okay. Okay.
Melanie was actually going to defend herself with a sword and possibly kill the guy herself if there was danger. And what did, when Scarlett, when she saw what Scarlett had done by shooting the guy in the head, what was Melanie's reaction?
She was happy, right?
I'm glad you did it. Whoa! Melanie's glad that Scarlett murdered someone? So this to me was a pivotal point in Melanie's character. Who can kind of explain what happened in that moment as far as Melanie's mindset?
Let's
Right.
ask. Let's ask Gerard. Gerard, can you answer?
Okay. Melanie on the was used to see the good on people, but we saw that there are bad people and justified what Scarlett did to save. That's more important to save them than kill someone.
Layla, I'd like to hear your take on how Melanie changed at this point in her life as a woman. Do you agree with how they changed her character at this point?
Yeah, I think so.
Have you been through such a moment? Were you like Melanie earlier in your youth? And then you woke up and became more realistic? Or no?
See, I'm such a calm person, but under some circumstances, I felt as if I had a tiger in me, you know. So it is normal, I think.
Well, yeah, she used to be a kitten.
Right.
Everything's kind and everybody's wonderful. And suddenly somewhere along the way, this war made her a tiger in a way.
Yeah,
She understood that not everybody's wonderful and kind, and sometimes you have to do things that you would not normally do.
I understand it as well.
So
Yeah,
that's
in
why
my
she
life.
forgave Scarlett. She understood that this was a kill person moment. So she
Yeah.
told Scarlett, I'm glad you killed him, because otherwise he would have killed us.
Right.
I guess
Great.
there are many levels. I think that if Scarlett did not kill, so Melanie would have to do that probably. Was
But
something.
she couldn't even lift the sword, though.
He was very weak.
But she tried. Her mind was willing.
Yep. Yeah, we have a saying in Russian that that circumstances define the way you think. So you can be, a liberal or something, a very tolerant guy, but in some circumstances you will change in a moment.
One way we say that in English is we say heroes are made, not born.
Wow.
That means the circumstances make you a hero. You're not born a hero. The circumstances determine if you're going to be a hero or a coward.
Vasants, please.
I think the absence of Ashley made her to be like that. I have seen so many women who lost their husbands and they had to raise their children on their own, became so rude or something like that. So that they
Stronger.
can, so stronger. So that they can project a fence, a protective fence around them to save themselves from the predators.
Yep. Partially, I guess it's true. So if you have,
Yeah.
if you have someone who always cares about you, who protect you of everything, why should you be hardened? You just
Like
be-
my mommy, she doesn't do anything.
Yeah. Okay, let's go on with the story. So we finished on this killing Sen. This deserter has some money, so that money helped them in Tara. And wasn't Tara born by this general Sherman? Probably it wasn't, right? So Tara.
Yes.
They used
Hey.
Terra as their headquarters.
Okay.
So
So
that's
help.
why it was saved or spared from being burned down. They lived in it and stayed there to
I see.
coordinate their operations.
I see. So it's a good luck.
And when they left, they took all the chickens.
Was the first thing they took.
Perhaps, yeah.
Big-
Vasants, please continue with this story.
After that, the Yankees asked more taxes from them, but how to say, Scarlett couldn't pay that. Then she asked Ashley for help, and he has returned at that time. But he couldn't also help. And in the meantime, her father was died. How to say that? Was died, or he's dead, I think.
He had an accident
Yeah, he had an accident.
and died or died in an accident. Yeah.
Yeah, he had an accident.
But
and-
do you remember why her father started to this racing on the horse? So what he was offended by or whom?
Yeah, I don't know the what designation that character has, but he wanted to buy their house, but she didn't want to sell that to him, so she denied the offer. He yelled at her about her position or something. Then her father saw the entire conversation, so he got offended and he tried to chase him with the help of his horse, but unfortunately he fell down from the horse.
As I got it, he got this guy, Wilkes, right? Teacher Lee Wilkes.
Wilkes, he was from the first part. You might not remember him.
Mm-hmm. This guy, he started to surf for Yankees, so he got some position or something. That's why he felt like he is in power of doing something. And he actually made an ultimatum: you will sell me your Tara, or I will raise your taxes to that moment that you just lost it. So it was kind of a blackmailing or something. And as I got it, father got mad because of this. And because of personal relationship, probably something that happened before, and he started his race on the horse and got accident. Yeah.
If you remember the first part of the movie, Scarlett's mother was not home because she was at I forget the woman's name's house, but that was Wilkes's wife now. But in the past, Wilkes was their slave overseer, and he had made love to a single girl, the white girl, Slattery. He had made love to her, and they weren't married. So in the South at that time, that was a very, very big sin to make love to a young lady and you're not married to her. And she got pregnant, and she had difficulties with the birth or whatever, or maybe the Scarlett's mother just went over there to abort the baby. I think she was going to deliver the baby and it died. So remember when the mother came home, this well-dressed slave overseer, Mr. Wilkes, came up to her. He had the mustache, and he asked her, "What do you want to do tomorrow?" And she said, and she didn't even look at him. She said, "Mr. Wilkes, I have just come from Miss Slattery's house and delivered your baby, which has mercifully died. I will not speak with you again," or something. And he said, "Well, ma'am, I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about." So this guy's a greasy, slippery, uncouth, unscrupulous individual.
Yeah. So that person that will prosper in any circumstances, right? So Yankees or anything, he has no like moral values or something.
Yeah.
Opportunistic, we call them.
Opportunistic. Nice.
He'll jump to whichever side gives him the best opportunity. Yeah.
I see. So and actually they raised taxes for Tara, I guess. I don't recall very.
Yeah.
I think it was $300, which probably was a lot of money back then.
Mhm.
And the Confederate money was useless. So they had to get real money or gold from someplace. And the only place she knew where to find that was
At Butler, I guess.
Red Butler.
Help us with this story. So where
And the
was
Butler
yeah,
was
where
in prison.
Mhm.
He had a lot of money, but not with him. It was, I think, I don't know which city, another city, and was playing poker with the Yankees, the Yankee soldiers. I think he let them win, so they would be happy. So Mommy made a nice dress with drapos, the curtain. How
Drapes?
What do they
Drapes?
call drapos? Drapes?
Drapes.
Drapes.
Drapes. Okay, drapes.
Heavy material is called drapes. Light material is called curtains.
And tried to get money from Red, but Red realized that she was working in the cotton fields, and he scolded her. She scolded her. I don't understand why.
Sorry, why
And-
what?
Why he scolded her? Like, okay, what's the problem with she had to work in the fields?
I guess the problem what was that she was working. I guess the problem was that she's trying to fool him. She went with this dress. She said, "I'm fine. How are you?" and make some kind of high society conversation. But in fact, he realized that she was not in that position. You know.
He guessed that he wanted more money.
Yeah.
And you know,
Well-
I didn't. I only heard the word slave or slavery in one occasion. In this thing, they said a verb that say a slaver up, like working as a slave. Which verb is it? Teacher Lee.
So what now?
The verb a slave, something that meant that she was working like a slave with the preposition a slave up or something like this. I don't know.
I'm not sure which instance you're talking about.
She was.
Oh, she was working like a slave or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, manual labor.
Mhm.
Yeah, let me explain why he was upset at the end of this scene, okay? When she first showed up, she said, "Oh, Red, I was so worried about you. I thought about you in this jail, this animal jail, and I was so concerned about you. I had to come see you and tell you how can I help you, you know." So she told him that she came because she cared about him. And then when he looked at her hands, and she had calluses from working in the field like a slave hand. Maybe
Right.
that's what you're trying to say, a slave hand.
A slave away, I think. A slave away.
To slave away is a verb.
This verb, yes. She used this verb, or he. I don't know who.
Yeah, to slave away means to work really, really, really hard like a slave. So when he saw calluses on her hands, he knew that everything she had said up to that point was a big lie. Everything was not good. She did not come to see him because she cared about him. She came for a devious reason, an ulterior motive. So then he said, "What do you really want? Why did you really come to see me?" "I need money, Red." And that's why he got angry. And he started laughing and said, "I don't have any money. I can't get to it. I'm in jail."
Ivan, we don't hear you.
Gerard, do you remember where she got this money? Because
From an old guy. He married. He had a nice business, you know. This old guy.
Mhm.
Her first husband, I think, or second, no, her second husband.
Frank, you mean?
Yeah,
Frank, yeah,
so
Frank.
he was much older than her, but
So actually, nobody can stop. Nothing can stop her, right? From she had a goal to get money. Okay, Red cannot. Okay, who can? You can. Okay, marry me. We have money now. Using men like a tool. Tools.
yes,
Well,
but
there was a complication. Frank was going to marry Sue Ellen,
hmm,
which was
Her sister?
Scarlett's sister.
All right.
So when he asked about Sue Ellen, Scarlett went, "Oh, oh, Frank. Oh, I'm so sorry to tell you this, Frank. Frank, my hand's cold. Can I put my hand in your pocket?"
mhm.
The
She was
new Scarlett came out.
And I remember the dialogue between Sue Ellen, her sister, and someone else, I guess, another lady.
India.
And I'm sorry, I don't remember. And she said, "You have to forgive Scarlett. He did so much for us, and he saved Tara and everyone." So,
Melanie.
yeah, probably.
Melanie always was excusing her.
Yeah, there were three other female characters. Sue Ellen and Kathleen were her sisters. So that was Kathleen telling Sue Ellen, "Forgive her. She's trying to save our family." India was Melanie's family, and India hated Scarlett with a passion. I
Mm.
hate Scarlett. And
But
Scarlett hated her too, so.
Leila, why Scarlett did not let Sue Ellen marry Frank? She probably will get this money anyway. No?
But I think Scarlett thinks she's smarter than her sister.
No, she was afraid that Sue Ellen would marry Frank and move to Atlanta,
Mm.
Ah,
and Tara would be left with nothing.
oh, she's really smart then.
She didn't trust Sue Ellen to move to Atlanta and live in the big city and give money to this little plantation out in the countryside. So
Oh,
she
wow.
didn't trust Sue Ellen to care about Tara.
Okay, so she's now a business lady, right? She's cold. She is. I don't know what. Sergey, can you describe Scarlett at that moment? What do you think? What adjective would you
I
use?
think I think this moment Scarlett was a hard lady who was thinking about only money, only venue, only uh, rising rising the production from the village factory. And I think that she this moment Scarlett didn't stop to before moral principles because she took some prisoners without money who worked for her for only food with chain, but it's not problem because it's very it's not expensive for me. Actually, no problem. Go away from this. I'm a boss. I have to solve this decision.
So you're saying that she kind of sway or kind of forget her moral values and for say
Absolutely, yes.
for great balls of
It
fire.
was
Yeah.
it was looks like for me.
Yep. I understand. And do you remember that Ashley tried to escape from her? He said, "We will go to Atlanta or somewhere." And she
Yeah,
said, "No,
and
Ashley, I
I
need
remember
you." Yeah, please go.
this moment Scarlett went to the slums with black people, and some black people wanted to rape her, but her previous slave, the big black guy,
Big Sam.
saved her.
Mhm.
I don't remember this name. And
Big
after
Sam.
that, after this accident, Ashley and Frank Kennedy, his husband, and some guys went to the slums to killing some bad guys. but
Mhm.
suddenly they meet some Yankee in this slant. They have fighting. After that, Scarlett's husband was killed. Ashley has injury in the shelf.
Just
I don't
shoulder,
know,
yeah, the shoulder.
shoulders. And Red Butler save all guys as usual, and he covered them between Yankees policy.
Yeah, and he covered them by risking his reputation, right? He said, "My word of word of gentlemen that they were with me in this brothel with this lady. I forgot her name."
Bella?
Well,
Bella? Well, that actually was true.
It was true, right? Right. He risking,
he
but it
took
was
them there so that she could answer honestly.
yeah, it was
They
nice,
were
yeah.
here.
It was an interesting moment. The most interesting part of it that Scarlett forgot about her husband at all. So she was hustling about around Ashley and around Red, and then Red asked, Scarlett, don't you want to ask me about your husband?
Husband.
What is wrong with him? He's dead. Okay, he's dead.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have a questions about this moment. According to this moment, I didn't understand the relationships between Yankee and previous soldiers of Confederation. After end of the war, what did soldier of Confederation? They had they problem with Yankee or not? How they built relationships?
Sergey, let me try to answer. The problem wasn't that they are former soldiers of Confederation or something. The problem is that they tried to make a lynch, how say it? They tried to make some actions without approval. So they tried to clean up some place without approval of Yankees. It's like, you and me will try to make own orders. So that was the problem, not their past, I guess.
It's a little bit like the North. Immediately after the war, the North probably had troops in the South to maintain order and to prevent a buildup of another army. So these men at nighttime went to this shanty town. I guess they tried to burn it down. I'm not sure, to destroy it, to wipe it out so it would no longer be a threat to decent people. And that was an illegal action at a time when the Union Army was kind of in charge and supposed to maintain order. So these men were basically kind of criminals breaking the law when they did that. So the Union Army wanted to find these Southern men and arrest them for lawlessness and disorder.
Yep.
Mhm.
So they needed an alibi.
Yeah. When you're trying to make justice without authority, you're making a lynch. You are lynching someone, right?
Yeah, vigilanteism.
Vigilantism.
Vigilanteism.
Okay. So vigilante is just a civil guy who decided I will be in charge of that. I will prevent that, or I will punish someone, or something like this. Okay, so husband of Scarlett is dead. He's in a how we call it, in a morning.
Morning.
Yeah.
Again. Again. And what happened? So, Vasant, tell us, please.
And she was in a remorse. Then Brett Butler asked her to marry him. Eventually, he convinced her that he loved her so much. Then she had no other option because he is a millionaire, I think so. She got married to him and she gave birth to a baby girl. And
Bonnie.
yes, Ronnie, yeah, Bonnie. And then later he wanted a second child, but she didn't want to give birth to another child because her physique is changing, and also she couldn't forget Ashley. So Brett found out at some point that she was looking at Ashley's photograph and saying that I don't want to give birth to another baby. So they had an argument, a heated argument. And, accidentally, in that argument, she fell down all the way through the stairs. Then I think she got aborted. How to say that?
She lost baby, I will say.
Yeah, she lost a baby.
Yeah, it was a sad part, right? So at the moment, for some moment, we can see them like a beautiful family, right? Everything is good. So Red is in high society again. So he has a lot of money. He's a millionaire. They rebuilt the Tara. How he said, spare no expense. Made it beautiful again. Made whatever you want, right? And they had a child, and everything was nice. And I like the way how they were walking with this stroller and
with his mom.
bowing to each person and and Red said, I have a plan, whatever we will have to do, our daughter will be in high society. Everyone should love her. Fake smiles, yeah, fake ask for advice, right? So, dear lady, would you please help me how to trade my baby or something? So yeah. She's she's sucking her thumb, right? Is it correct?
Yeah, quinine back then was a medicine for malaria, and it was very bitter, like like a lemon or something. It was very sour. So the solution back then, when a baby sucked his thumb, was you put quinine, liquid medicine, on the thumb, and then when they sucked it, it tasted horrible, and they would stop. Put quinine on her thumb. That'll stop it. Well, thank you, Mrs. So-and-so. I would never thought of that.
How we call this a small like circle with a photography? Locust? Scarlett has that with the Ashley photo.
Oh, just a locket.
Locket, yeah. So actually this locket, it has a big like influence on Red, right? Jack, do you remember this?
The one with the picture of Ashley.
Yeah. Could you tell us why their family was broken? Why their family was broken?
Well, because Red knew that Scarlett always loved Ashley. What was the main problem? And also, Scarlett didn't want to have more children, and said to Red that she wouldn't sleep with him again. So he went to find solace to Bella's place.
Bells, yep.
Bells. So brutal.
I like their dialogue when they have Red and Bella. He said, "You both look alike. You both called business women or something, but in opposite to her, to Scarlett, you have heart or something, and you are honest." So I like the dialogue. But Leila, do you think that Scarlett's still in love with Ashley? Because
No.
I'm not convinced.
No way, no. We talked about this before. She couldn't get her aim. She couldn't. How can I say, Lee? Can I say capture his heart?
To understand?
Yeah, I think she figured that she couldn't really win him at this point.
So she's not in love with him, but she wants him.
Yeah,
Maybe
I would say we say she's in love with the idea of being in love with him.
Yeah, I love it. Okay.
She gave up on being in love, but she still loved the idea of being in love with him.
You know what I thought while I was watching? If she had spent one day with Ashley, she would have left him. Two different characters.
You know, I my impression that they have a big miscommunication in their family. So for me, as I see it, Scarlett already loved Red, but she just cannot say that. She pretended, she played with him. She never answered his questions like directly. So and it ruined the relationship. What I understand.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, please.
Yes, what I understand from Scarlett's character is she had been raised by the rich family, so, and in her childhood towards the adulthood, she had a lot of choices to choose, but she never did. And also, being a rich kid is a disadvantage that they would give you so many things without your, how to say that, the carving or something to
Efforts
yeah,
from your side.
yeah,
Right?
exactly, yeah, without much effort. So they would not make you choose something. They would provide you everything. So you do not have the ability to choose what you want. So I think that made her prickle, I think.
Yeah, I guess if she were more honest, if sometimes just answer it directly without all this flirting, all this playing, it will be much better. But she just could not. She just don't understand how to do that. In my impression. Yeah. Do you think it's pride, Shirley?
Yeah, it's pride. I think a lot of it is pride. She liked him, but she didn't want to say that she liked him.
Mm-hmm.
So she pretended like she didn't like him. And he loved her, but because of the way she was acting, he kind of became cold and acted like he didn't love her because
Mm-hmm.
he was hurt by her acting like she didn't like him. So I think pride was a lot of what was going on here, and it worked against them, both of
Yes.
them.
Yeah, they both could be happy, but they decided to not to without any reasons, any factual reasons, just to just because of stupidness. Okay, so Red went out to London, I guess, but I don't understand. Is it London in Europe or some American London?
In England, they went to London in England, the fog.
Yes, you could see the Big Bang on the window.
Okay.
But you forgot something important.
Please.
You know the scene that Scarlett was talking with Ashley and she hugged him, but he was innocent. He was nothing, indecent. But I think Mr. India and Mr. Another woman saw that and they started to gossip about that. And Red was very drunk, and and discussed with Scarlett, and he took her and actually raped her because she didn't want to have sex with him, and she took her, with his arms to the room, and that's it. Something that nowadays would be very, very bad, unacceptable. And in the morning, she was very happy. Like, okay, she was happy, and she was apologizing about that because I was very drunk. But he eventually decided to go to London with Bonnie.
Yeah. Yes, he behaved like a jerk, right? So in many sense, he was drunk, but he actually. Do you remember he was what's the word for this? Menacing Scarlett. He said, "Oh, you will make our baby ready, or I will do some terrible, and I will whip you, or something like this." So threaten Scarlett. Yes, threaten Scarlett. Yeah, and speaking about innocent of this innocent, how to make a noun from this innocence of this hack. Different times has different moral, right? In that time, you probably would get killed because of this hack on a duel or something. So.
Yep. He could have challenged him to a duel. That's probably true at that time.
Yeah, so it wasn't that innocent, but Melanie is always. Melanie has always saved her, right?
So there's a little irony in this. In the first part of the movie, every time Ashley and Scarlett were caught being kind of intimate, people misunderstood it and didn't think anything about it. This time, when they weren't trying to be intimate, now they were misinterpreted that they were trying to be intimate. So, irony there.
Yeah.
So the one time she leaned against him without feelings of intimacy was the one time she got accused of that.
Mm.
And then after that, there had been a scheduled social gathering of all the women. And Scarlett said, well, I'm not going. I feel ashamed, And Rhett said, you are going, and you are going to show that you are not ashamed, and you're going to do that by wearing this sexy dress, and you're going to go to that party. And he forced her to go to the party. So she shows up with all these modest women looking like a prostitute almost, a slut, and they're all like, everyone's shocked. But Melanie being her kind sister, said, sure, Scarlett, you look so beautiful, so young, so vivacious. Please come in. So Melanie, there's a little subplot between Melanie and Scarlett. Melanie always loved Scarlett. The whole movie, Melanie always loved and thought the best of Scarlett, even in the worst moments. So, and this came out in this social gathering. Everyone was shocked that she would dare show her face. And Melanie acted like everything was normal. There was no shame. She didn't accuse or think badly of Scarlett for what had happened. So it was, I think, a very kind moment of Melanie's character that she willingly welcomed Scarlett at that time and under those circumstances against all of the other people in the room.
Right.
So
right.
Melanie was bold. She was bold.
Probably she would be abstracted by the society as well as Scarlett after that. Probably.
Yeah. So she was willing to buck society to stand up for her belief that Scarlett was a good person.
Yep.
Something else that is interesting, if you probably noticed it, but no one's mentioned it. Mammy became Scarlett's confidant. Remember when Scarlett was trying to steal Frank and said, Frank, can I put my hand in your pocket? Oh, Sue Ellen, she doesn't love you anymore. Mammy's sitting back here listening to all this, and she's going, so Mammy just wants to say something so bad, but she's got to shut up because she's got to let Scarlett do what Scarlett's going to do. And then when Scarlett wakes up that morning after making love and she's all happy and excited, what's Mammy doing? Oh, my back hurts. Oh, I feel so miserable. And she sees Scarlett so happy and she's like, what's wrong with you, So some good counterfoils to Mammy and Scarlett's situations, I guess.
I remember that Red was thinking about Mommy from time to time and made some gift for her, and actually she changed her mind about him, I guess.
Yeah.
So when Red went to the London with a baby, why he eventually returned the baby, Lel?
Sorry, will you please repeat the question?
So when they divorced, kind of divorced, not officially, but separated, when they got separated, Red got the baby, Bonnie, and went to London, right?
Right.
But not for long. After some time, he had to return baby, right, to Scarlett.
Luckily, I watched that trailer. They were very happy at first. She was so cute, and he spoiled her a lot. But she missed the mommy because she was sleeping and she started screaming, crying a bit, and Red just gave her a hug, and she said, I wanna just go and see mommy.
Yeah. So you cannot replace the mother, right?
Never.
And Red came out with another sarcastic remark. Apparently, even a bad mama is better than no mama.
Yeah.
Insulted Scarlett again.
Yeah. Okay, actually, I forgot what happened after. Sergey, do you remember?
Yeah, Red returned with Bonnie from London to Atlanta, and they met Scarlett, and Red with Scarlett has had a conflict about something,
Mhm.
and Scarlett told to Red, "I'm pregnant," and Red asked about father, and they had conflict, and Red talked to Red say so to Scarlett, and I want that you have a miscarriage.
Mhm.
But this moment, Scarlett fall down from downstairs, and she had a miscarriage, and they had a conflict. And after this problem, they had cold relationships, and only Bonnie connect them.
Mhm. Mhm.
And Red loved Bonnie so much, and Red bought a small horse pony for Bonnie, and Bonnie liked her pony, and she trained permanently. And Scarlett told, "Please, Red, separate them, because I'm scared about the pony, because my father was died about horse."
Mhm.
And this moment, Bonnie has horse accident like her father, and Bonnie was died.
Yeah, Bonnie got died, or how we say it, gets accident, yes, and died,
Died or was killed in an accident. Yeah.
was killed in an accident, yeah, and was another terrible event for their family, and probably destroyed their family, I guess. Is that all? What we forgot? What sounds?
Yes, and especially at this point, I like Mammy character a lot because she explained everything to Melanie while they were walking to the first floor of the building. So she explained everything, that like the child was dead, and Red took the dead body with him, and locked himself in a room, and didn't came out for a couple of days. And let's say that yeah, they had a fight with Scarlet and Red had a fight. So uh, then Melanie was sad, and she went inside the room and somehow convinced Red to bring bring his daughter's dead body to the funeral. And after that, immediately Melanie also fell ill, and she was on her deathbed because her health condition was not good. So she fell ill immediately, and she asked a promise from Scarlett that she would took care she would take care of her child and Ashley too. Scarlett said yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and
That is.
and Melanie died actually right after that, and I guess the first person who Scarlett spoke after it was Ashley, right? And Red was offended hard by this. And what would he think? Now there is no like obstacles between you and Ashley, and I don't want to be between you. What I guess.
Yeah.
Am I right, Gerard? Did I miss something?
No, it's right.
And that's it, I guess.
But I
This
think
this is. Go ahead.
we forget the moment that Scarlett and Red discussed. She was pregnant, and he mocked her. I don't know why, and she wanted to hit him, and he fell on the staircase, and she lost the baby.
Yeah,
That was an important moment.
yeah.
That
It was like
was before Bonnie died.
yeah. it was an accident actually, but it was a very bad accident because they just had an argument, and in the spur of the moment, I guess, Red said, you know, I want you to have a miscarriage, and she tried to slap him, and
She fell down. She fell down.
yeah,
So he felt guilty, and
yeah, it's actually broke him, I guess. So
yeah, yeah, because he
he
loved kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some more irony here was that after Melanie died, Rhett said, finally, he's free. You've got Ashley. You can get him now. Melanie's dead. He's yours. So you don't need me anymore. I'm going to leave. And the irony is that at the moment she could get Ashley, she realized she didn't love him and she didn't want him because he was weak.
A pushover.
Yeah, he was useless. He had no ambition. He just timid. And at the moment she realized she didn't love Ashley, that was the moment that she lost Rhett Butler forever.
Mhm.
So a little irony at that point.
Yep. Again, miscommunication, you know. So probably she would have to speak with Red, not with Ashley. Yeah. Okay, Gerard.
I think the one guilty of all of this problem with her love, Scarlett being in love with him, is Ashley, because he didn't tell her that he didn't love her, that he actually loved Melanie. She thought he loved her, so that's the reason always she had the hope that one day he would come to her arms, you know. But it was an illusion. It was an illusion. The possibility wasn't real. And she could have known that, you know, the story would have been very, very different.
But I guess that Ashley had like a weak spot for Scarlett. She was beautiful. She was, you know,
Energetic.
asking for him, you know, and he kissed her a few times. So it was very hard, you know, to refuse
It's a
Scarlett.
love. There are different kinds of love. It's like he loved her like a sister, you know, or a cousin, but not like a lover.
He loved her passion for life, but didn't really love her herself. If you can understand
and
that.
I don't think that Ashley was happy when he was, you know, when he was working for Scarlett, when he was this miserable officer on her mill. He said, "I am a bad businessman. Look at this results. So let me go."
Yeah.
Okay, so we ended this. Leila, what is the moral? What should not we do? And what we should?
Be a good lady. Believe me, either Scarlett or Ashley is the perfect person for me. I like Rhett Butler a lot because at least he is the one who says what he thinks.
Mm-hmm. He's pretty honest, right? He's pretty straightforward. I want this, and I tell you that, and we will go this.
Yeah.
Leila, of all these women, you had Melanie, you had Scarlett, you had Scarlett's sisters, Kathleen, that usually supported her, and Sue Ellen, that usually hated her. You had India, Melanie's family, that hated her. You had Mammy and Belle. Who's your favorite, couple of women in all of this movie, and why?
If I tell you, let me think. Melanie could be because of her being so calm, but I'm telling you, I'm not calm as a woman. I'm rebellious, but I don't like Scarlett deceiving people. That's the point for me, because I'm against this. Scarlett is a great person, maybe, I don't know, as a character. Maybe she has everything she wants, but not for me, Lee. I prefer to be honest. Melanie 50-50.
I
I
guess
like
every,
her being polite, kind.
Mhm.
And you know what I'm thinking? I think Melanie suspected Scarlett's feelings towards Ashley. I think.
She never
Probably.
showed it though.
Yeah.
well,
I look at.
Mhm.
I just want to add one more thing. I look at these characters here. Melanie was loyal and was loyal
Yeah.
to Scarlett and faithful to Ashley. So I think she was a good person myself. Okay. Kathleen was the sister that always supported Scarlett. She's doing it for the family. She's doing it for Tara. She's trying to help us all. Sue Ellen was the sister that was always against Scarlett. So I like Kathleen because she was loyal and she was rational. She could say, I know why she did this. It's terrible, but I understand why she did it. So to me, Kathleen, I liked her. India hated Scarlett, and I don't have a problem with that. She saw Scarlett for being what she was, ruthless, manipulative, and she hated Scarlett. So India was honest with herself. She knew exactly what Scarlett was, and she wasn't ashamed to say it. So I've got to get India credit for being a good person, a strong
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
India, Mammy was loyal. Even though she saw the bad things that Scarlett did, she held her tongue. She didn't speak. She didn't interfere. And she let Scarlett do what Scarlett had to do. She would scold Scarlett later, but Mammy to me was faithful. And I liked Mammy for that reason. Belle, same thing. Belle was loyal to Rhett.
Yeah.
So for loyalty I liked Kathleen and Melanie and Mammy and Belle. Those were
Right.
why I liked those characters. They were loyal. They were good hearts. They understood
Yeah.
why things were happening. Yeah.
I agree.
One thing, all the movie, everybody says that Scarlett hates Melanie, but actually I think it's not true, because that India hates Scarlett, that's very clear, but it's not clear that Scarlett always helps Melanie. She maybe want to say that she hates Melanie, but she actually doesn't. All the
Because,
time we can see that at the
you
end.
know, Gerard, she can't say anything because thanks to Melanie, she can be close to Ashley. This is
And
what
she
I'm
promised
thinking.
Ashley to help Melanie, but we cannot say that she hated that Melanie, because it's impossible to help a person that you hate in the way that Scarlett helped Melanie.
I think this was another pivot point. I think in the beginning, Scarlett did hate Melanie. She said Melanie was, calm and boring and believed in tradition and didn't rock the boat, was too kind and soft-hearted. But I think the point where they killed the deserter and she saw Melanie come down with the sword and she told Scarlett, I'm glad you killed him. I think at that moment, Scarlett realized that Melanie had changed a little bit and Scarlett had changed a little bit. And I think from the second half of the movie, Scarlett did love Melanie as a sister. So I think her feelings toward Melanie changed during the movies, what I think. Layla, what do you think?
I'm listening to you, believe me, so carefully. But I don't think Scarlett can love anybody.
Okay, that's a fair judgment.
No,
but
I'm telling you the truth.
we we
You
we
know.
we, sh- we shouldn't forget that they had some hardships together, and it's always make people close, so probably if it's not love, at least some appreciation, some sympathy or something.
Yeah, some kinship at least. Yeah.
Yep. Sergey, please.
Yes, I agree with teacher Lee about the output with Melanie, but it's a strange fact. But I'm sure that Melanie knew about relationships between Scarlett and Ashley, but she loves Scarlett anyway. Why? But it's strange. But during this their life, she loved without fake, and she loved so much her. But
Mhm.
all girl who lived with Scarlett lived with her because she has money. It's all, and they were weak and they were not rich persons. Only Scarlett could reach money, and all girl lived with her. Include Ashley. Ashley looks like a girl in this movie.
Don't be this patriarchy, or something. So Scarlett actually was the head of the family during the movie, right? And
Yeah,
she
God,
said it by herself.
Godfather.
Yeah, Godfather. Yeah. She
A-
said,
and
you can ask for my sister's hand from me, not from my father. I'm the head of the family.
and Melanie at one point did tell Scarlett, she said, Scarlett, you've always taken care of us. You've fed us. You've given us a place to live. I would never question anything you do because I owe you so much. So Melanie was good in that, in that way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So Sergey, what is the moral of the movie in 2 words? What should we do?
I but
Two
it's not
words.
one. It's not one moral in this movie because I think that the war births new hero every time, but this war was birth the Scarlet like a hero, and this time took those new rules without emotions, without good relationships, only money, only rescue.
Yeah, yeah. So war changed circumstances, ruined the previous world, the whole world
Yeah.
that Scarlet used to be, and created a new one. Right? Yes, and changed Scarlet. Okay.
Vaughn, you said 2 words to describe the movie. There's a song called "Love Hurts."
Exactly.
That's what this movie's about.
Yeah. For Scarlet especially, Scarlet ruined her life for imaginary love or something, for fiction love. Yeah. Okay, let's do some slides. Leila, could you start, please? Can you see my slides?
I was writing to you, of course. Okay, so I'm going to describe this scene.
Yes, please.
Okay. From what you told me, I can say that this man could be the deserter
Mhm.
and the on the left with the pistol is Scarlet,
Right.
and she's trying to defend herself, and he shot him on his forehead, right?
Mhm.
The place is Terra. I don't know, Ivan. Is it Terra?
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
Okay. It looks older. And the place is full of dust. And yeah, I can see the stairway. So it means that they're not upstairs. That's all, Ivan.
Why she's using this net on her hair?
A woman wants to be beautiful under every circumstance.
Probably they didn't have haircut tools, so the hair
Yeah.
had gotten long, so she just kind of bundled it up to make it manageable.
So nowadays, women they have some small like rubber things, rubber circles or something. Probably it's a replacement for it. Okay, so it's a revolver, right? Revolver because it's
Revolver. Yeah.
revolver.
Revolver.
Because it's actually revolves.
Yeah.
Okay, so and we
Now-
play Russian roulette with this.
Yeah. If you look at modern revolvers, the cylinder that rotates is recessed. It has little indents in it. If you look at this one, it's smooth on the outside. So this one's distinctive as being a Confederate revolver, because those old pistols are the only ones where the cylinder was completely smooth on the outside.
I see.
Lee, they just, how can I describe it to you? I don't know. You use the weapon, this pistol or whatever, you open and put the bullets in it, and
Yep,
you just
yep,
close it. I like that sound when you
Yep.
close it.
Yeah, the cylinder pops out, you load the 6 bullets in it, and you snap it back in.
I love it.
Locked in, we call it locked and loaded.
Lock and load.
Okay.
Okay, let's go there. Vasants, please, what is happening?
Yeah, this is the backyard of their house, and these are the soldiers returned from the war. And we could see, what is his name? Maybe Scarlett's
Mommy?
second husband. No, I mean,
Frank.
have second.
Frank, yeah.
Yeah, Frank. And Mammy is cooking with a big,
I'd call it a boiling pot.
okay, boiling pot, and we could see buckets with a liquid, semi-liquid food. I think it could be.
I guess it's not food, Vasants. Do you understand what is happening? Why it's kind of a sanitation or something, you know?
For clothes.
Yeah, yeah. So, you
Okay.
know, because they were in the war, in these trenches, and they were in hardships, they got, like, you know, we call it anti-sanitation or something. So you got these bugs, how we call them, actually?
Germs.
Germs, yeah, and I read somewhere, I'm not sure, that more people died from diarrhea at that time than from bullets, from being shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a disease called dysentery.
Mhm.
Diarrhea, you know what, everyone knows what diarrhea is, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Now imagine that you had that every day for a month,
Mhm.
Right.
because these were unsanitary conditions back then. When you have diarrhea chronically all the time, we call that dysentery. And what dysentery does is it dehydrates your body because you lose all of your liquid.
Yeah.
So you end up dying from dysentery. Dysentery can kill you. So dysentery killed more people in the Civil War than any other cause.
It is still, you know, just known here. And
Yeah,
we
yeah.
call it, it's so funny, dysentery in Turkish.
Mhm.
So similar.
And high temperatures kill germs. And the guy that figured that out was called Louis Pasteur. Louis Pasteur was
Yeah,
a
yeah.
French scientist, and he learned that heating stuff up kills germs. So milk and things like that are heated up in the production to kill germs and then cooled back down, packaged and sold. So here she's boiling their clothes to kill lice and germs and anything else in there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because if you don't, they will be on you in the next second, right? So,
Yep.
yeah.
For women that cook, if you cook meat, we have a thermometer you can stick in the meat and measure the temperature inside the meat. The meat has to be greater than 120 degrees F to kill germs. So you cook the meat until the inside temperature is at least 120, and then you know it's safe to eat. If you don't cook it well enough inside, it can have germs like E. coli and other and salmonella, and you can get sick. So temperature above 120 is known to kill most bacteria and germs.
Accept my admirance. Not only the film, but also scientific knowledge. Thank you.
So how would you call this, you know, wooden structure? A shed or something?
I just call it a wooden frame.
Wooden frame, yeah. So probably
Wow.
something destroyed.
Today we might call it a trellis or an arboretum.
Wow.
Something we build that's open and like vines and plants can grow over it.
Mhm, mhm. And I can see a bucket on the left side with a, you know, without the handle, it's use a piece of a rope. Can you see this?
Yeah, a rope for a handle.
Rope for handle, yeah. And how we call this thing with soap, I guess, big
I would
bar.
call it a bucket, but if you look at this bucket, what it is, it's a 55-gallon barrel
Mhm.
that's been cut to make a bucket. So it's
Okay.
the bottom of a barrel.
Bottom of the barrel. Okay.
There's also a
Okay.
couple of gourds in there. Does anybody know what a gourd is?
No.
Right there. Yep, you're looking at it.
Yeah.
Yvonne, right there. That little gourd, a gourd is a hard metal shell
Mhm.
right there that Yvonne's pointing at. There's another one on the left side. Gourds, I think
Mhm.
they're squash. They're from squash. And if you let the squash get old and dry up, the outside becomes a gourd. And if you dig out the inside junk, it becomes a water container. You can use it as a water container. So,
I see.
okay, this is the well, it's green, so you can't see it because my green screen's washing it out.
Yeah.
But a gourd, this is a squash. And if you let it get dry and the outside becomes hard, you can dig out the inside pulp. And what you're left with is that hard shell and it's hollow.
So it's like a flask or something. You can
Yeah.
use it like a flask, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So it's used as water flasks in the old days.
I see.
Right.
I see. Nice. Okay, let's go forward somewhere. Sergey, what is happening?
It is the meeting between Scarlett and previous manager of Tara, and now he works for Yankee, and he took some lady, looks like a clone or prostitute, I don't know. It's red dress and stylish red hat with veil on the head. And we can see horse with carrot, or it's not carrot, but looks like transport.
Yeah, Teacher Lee wrote that this small carriage is a buggy.
Buggy, yeah, it's buggy. Yeah, and he had stylish suite with Gillette and with hat, and
Suit.
he had gloves. Who looks like a successful man.
Yeah, a businessman. Yeah. I like this lantern on this buggy. Can you see it? So
That's
probably
their
this.
headlight. Yeah, they're not their headlight.
There must be a candle inside or something, I guess.
So if there's thousands of buggies, you can see each other like fireflies.
And this stick, it's a how we call it, whip for
Whip, yep.
whip for horse. Okay, so they went to blackmail Scarlett, but she refused.
And I have
That
a
was
question.
plaid. Go
I
ahead.
have a question. How names this things about around eyes of horse? And you told previous time, but I forgot.
Yeah, this one, right?
Blinders.
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 They
Yeah.
made you blind, right?
Yeah. You're blind on the sides. Yeah.
Teacher Lee, anything?
So she's wearing plaid. That design for her dress is a Scottish design, and we refer to that as plaid. It looks like plaid, but we pronounce it plaid. She's wearing red velvet, so she's very nicely dressed. Nice little bonnet with a feather. A white slip underneath. It looks like. So they're both very well dressed. They're doing very well for themselves.
Yeah, working for occupants, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's find something with many details. Leila, do you know these guys?
No.
Okay, let me introduce you. It's Scarlett on the right, and it's on the left. It's Frank, right?
Ah, that stupid man. Okay.
He wasn't stupid. He was astounded by her beauty.
Come on. Not every man can feel, just amazed by her beauty.
And he was engaged to
Yeah.
Scarlett's sister, Sue Ellen. This is the man that was going to marry Sue Ellen.
So it is stupid.
But he was waiting until he was stable enough financially before he proposed.
Yeah,
Wow.
I remember that dialogue. He asked Scarlett for her sister's hand, and he said, "But I have nothing." And Scarlett said, "No one, no one can." No.
Ivan, is it his store or something like that?
Yeah, it's his store, I believe. So let's find something here. What he's doing? What do you think? There are a lot of
I
details.
think a lot of details, right? On the right, a lot of porcelain, or I think porcelain,
Kind of
plate,
dishes.
jars, jugs,
Mhm.
mugs, I can see. And on the left, I can see a lot of clothes and some, what are these? The patterned ones.
Those are baskets. The cloths, those are probably maybe blankets or shawls. I'm not sure.
I'm
Looks
not
like,
sure either.
for me, it looks like something for horses, to put on
Could
saddle.
be saddle blankets. Yep.
Saddle blankets. Yeah.
And I can see baskets there just behind him.
Mhm.
And
What is
I mean,
this?
he's selling everything.
What is on the top?
They look like horse yokes.
Yolks, yeah. What horse has on their neck, right?
Right. Cushioned so it doesn't, hurt their body, chafe their body.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that shape is like a horse's neck.
Yeah, actually, it's the point for applications, the horse force, right? So
Yeah.
this thing is yoke or something.
Yep.
What is that,
Lamp.
Leila? Do you know? It's a kerosene lamp, I guess.
A kind of lamp, right?
Yeah, I guess it's a kerosene lamp. We have them in Russia a lot. So because kerosene is pretty special, you have to heat it a bit, and it started to evaporate. And these gases, they can fire. So
Okay.
it's like a closed circle. So fire hits the lamp, and it evaporates more and more and more, like a chain reaction.
Okay. Great.
So we would call this in the old days a general store
Mhm.
because it sells general things for the home.
Yeah.
Pots, pans, dishes, baskets, blankets, lamps, household stuff. So we call it a general store. But on the side, he had a lumber business also, but it was a small part of his general store.
What is this small white and colorful things? It looks like something to play poker.
I don't. It might be
Chips.
soap. It might be chips. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Soap bars.
Probably it's how we call it. I forgot. Small ropes that we use for knitting, for knitting.
Knitting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thread. Okay.
Threads. Yes, threads. Probably.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, colored thread. Good, Yvonne.
Thank you. Okay. Anything else? Let's go. Okay, it's a moment. Let's find something. Which one you like, Vasant?
Nice canopy bed.
Yeah. Canopy
Please.
bed, and he's holding his baby, Bonnie, and Scarlett is holding, I think, a mirror. I think a small mirror, and she is combing her hair. She is always concerned about her beauty and physique. And you can see some lamp. I think the glass lamps on the left side of Scarlett. A grand mirror and a couple of It looks like a test tube or something like that, a chemistry lab equipment. And you could see another huge framed photo, maybe a painting on the right side, yeah, with flower wash and a small jug. No, I don't know. It looks like some Arabic jar or something.
Probably a vase for flowers. I'm not sure.
Mhm.
Maybe just decoration.
Yeah, decoration.
It looks very
The-
posh, right?
Yep. The furniture is very ornate,
Mhm.
very decorative, very, well shaped and carved and cushiony. I don't know what this style is, but there's one style of furniture that's named after King Louis the 14th.
Mhm.
So this looks more like a European royalty kind of furniture design.
And look at Scarlett. She just woke up and looks like she's ready to visit a queen, right? With makeup already, with everything. Okay, let's go forward. Let's find something. Okay, this one. Sergey, please find something.
At the moment when Red Butler trained his daughter Bonnie, and we can see Big Horse and Pony, and Red Butler has special wire
Rope?
rope who helped to Bonnie manage his pony. And in front of horses, we can see special device for jumping with horses, with different levels for jumps.
So I would call this a plank, like a plank or a bar, right, Teacher Lee? So
Yeah, we'd probably call it a bar. You know the expression to raise the bar?
yep. So you raise the bar when you put it on the next level, right?
So this is where raise the bar comes from. If you raise the bar at work, then you raise the standard that everyone's got to achieve or exceed.
How would you call this small, like wooden nails that form the levels?
I would call those pegs.
Pegs. Okay. So it's just two vertical props with pegs and bar between them, right? Good. Sergey, can you see there is a small animal or monument or figurine or something in the
Yes, I think this is a
pony?
hunt
Deer. No?
deer. Yeah, deer hunter. Yes. Deer.
Yeah, looks nice. Actually, I made such a device for my dog to jump over it.
Really?
Yeah. It was very happy to jump. Okay, but I can imagine what Red Butler felt after his child fall from the horse. You know, wow, I would burn all the things, include pony.
I think he shot the pony, right?
Yes,
I think I remember he killed the pony.
Yeah.
He blamed the pony.
Probably not blame. It was just another, recalling, so another clue. So I would put it away if I could.
A murder of passion, Ivan.
Yeah.
Second degree murder.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. So we finished with a long movie, but I think it's good to know this movie. So Leila, you are leaving us for until September, right?
Yes, my dear friend. I just want to say thank you. And
Thank you
it
very
is
much,
so
Leila.
good to be with you. Thanks, Sergey. Take care of each other, my dear friends, okay?
Okay. So if borders will be open, we will visit you in Turkey, probably.
Of
Amazing.
pleasure.
Later, yeah. So now we can choose romantic movies, right?
You can choose bloody horror movies when
Horror
I'm
ones.
away.
Okay. Okay.
Actually-
Yes.
Lee. Is Lee here?
Yes.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you.
I always share the moments of romance and personality conflicts with you because I know you enjoy that, Layla.
Because I am
Irony, and conflict.
Yeah.
Dear
Okay, so
Gerard, Ivan, Kay, I love you all. Take care.
so
Bye, Layla.
the next movie isn't chosen yet, so please suggest in our chat if you want. And thank you and bye bye for today.
Bye-bye.
Bye.